So the company that revolutionized remote work is now telling its own employees to get back to the office. Zoom is making workers come back on a hybrid schedule. NewsNation business contributor and New York Post reporter Lydia Moynihan joins us now. Lydia, I think a lot of people will hear that headline and say, how hypocritical of Zoom. What's the kind of feedback on this, Ben?
The irony, yeah, you have a lot of people saying, well, remote work must be really dead if the company that benefited more from remote work probably than any other company is itself saying, you know what, this isn't working out. People should come back to the office. Of course, pre-pandemic, their stock price was about $60. We saw it jump up to about 500 at the height of the pandemic when everyone was using Zoom for everything from cocktail hours to work meetings all day. And now it's back to about 65, closer to 70 some days per share. So it's interesting. Now, I do want to caveat, they're saying they want people back, but they're also not saying 5 days a week. They're saying that a hybrid but somewhat structured model is best for their company. So people who live within 50 miles of an office are being required to come back. So it's interesting because it's not what we saw pre-pandemic. It's not 5 days a week, 9 to 5. There is a lot more flexibility, but I think it is a recognition that, all right, we're not in a pandemic. It is good for people to be in the office, to have some interaction with colleagues, some face-to-face meetings, and we can still use Zoom and other tools to an extent, but not to the extent that we were using during the pandemic, but certainly different than what we saw a few years ago where pretty much everyone was in the office 5 days a week.
Yeah, they're saying get back to work. We saw Apple do this. Apple brought everybody back on a hybrid schedule too. I'd be curious to know if they were letting Zoom workers choose their hybrid days or if that's going to be mandated for all. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, Elon Musk claimed over the weekend, I know you saw this tweet too, that he will foot the legal bills for people who get in trouble at work because of their activity on the platform. Is this legit or is this a PR stunt? And how would that even begin to work?
These are great questions, and we don't have a lot of answers. I have notifications for when Elon Musk tweets, and it is a never-ending source of entertainment because he really says it all. I think what some people are interpreting from that text is that he wants this to be a free speech platform. He wants people to be free to share their opinions. There have been reports about people who've been unfairly fired for even just following certain accounts. There was one woman who claimed she was fired because she put in her bio, I stand with J.K. Rowling, who's made comments about trans people. So there are those cases where you see people are just using the platform in the way that it was intended, and they seem to be facing repercussions for that. So it seems like that is the main thing he wants to help people with. But a lot of people are saying, well, what if somebody shares like the recipe for Coca-Cola of their company? Or they're fired, or what if somebody posts something really horrible and vile? And he's not provided a lot of details. People we've seen are tweeting at him saying, help this person, help that person. And he's engaging, asking questions. But people who are actually following the business know, you know what, X is not in a position to be paying for people's legal fees.
Millions
they
of
are
dollars.
Losing money, hemorrhaging money. This might not be a good idea for them to do at this time.
It was interesting to read the comments yesterday. And the other thing, too, he said if you were unfairly treated, not even fired, but just unfairly treated. So that runs the gamut, I'm sure.
Well, and the question is he going to give those people a job? Because I don't want to make a lawyer rich.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to make sure that I'm getting a salary.
Point taken. Lydia, thanks so much as always.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.